Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Skyrim with Evo Sedaris, my Dunmer Archer. We are in Windhelm because Evo has decided, I don't decide things, he does, that he needs to go to Solstheim to check out what the deal is with these cultists. He's defeated Alduin. He has completed Kind's sacred trials. Now, he's not a terribly religious person, but it so happens that because of her role in granting people the ability to learn the Thu'um, that he actually has a bit more respect for Kinnereth than the other divines, who he kind of does not have too much use for.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Thank you for telling me about your medical problems. But you know, he didn't get too much out of that. I mean, mostly he had to defeat ghost versions of animals that he kills all the time, or has killed many times in the past. And it didn't really tell him much of anything, and he's still kind of trying to understand why someone like him was the Dragonborn. I mean, he went to Sovngarde, and it was a very Nord-centric experience. So, you know, and plus, you know, there are these cultists that keep trying to kill him. And saying that he's not the true Dragonborn, so he wants to...
Thank you enough for what you did.
He wants to find out a bit more about what that all means. Now, there is supposedly a quest you can get from this guy.
The Nords don't appreciate us, but so what? I don't appreciate them right back.
And he does not seem... Now, she'll give you a quest. I've gotten her quest. I think I've actually already gotten it and just haven't done it yet.
Look, we don't have much love for your kind down here. Probably best if you just left.
Oh, yeah, maybe he resents all those years in slavery. Gee, I can't imagine why.
The Northern Maiden is shipshape and ready to go.
Okay.
Captain Gjallan does the business around here. I'm just a ship's mate.
Where is this guy, is
May
it?
the
No.
gods watch over your battles, friend. If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore.
Solstheim, what's that?
I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. And that's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim.
Yes, you are. You're taking me to Solstheim.
Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there.
People are trying to kill me. I'm not taking no
Hold
for an
on now.
answer.
I'm just a simple sailor. I never wanted to get mixed up in any of this. All right, I'll take you. But we leave immediately.
We can intimidate people, apparently. Well. I think my loading screens are messed up because of some mod I installed. Oh well. Also, his eyes, too, are doing this weird glowing thing, and I think it's because of one of my mods.
Here we are.
I don't know which one, though.
Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
I think there was also a town called Raven Rock in Fallout 3. Bethesda, you need to come up with other names for your towns. Just an FYI.
looking for passage. Talk to
I don't
Captain
recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions.
I'm looking for this guy named Mirak who claims to be the true Dragonborn. Do you know him?
Mirak, I'm not sure that I do. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? Yeah, I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what.
Earthstone?
I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here, and we've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Yolland, I was starting to wonder what happened to you.
Crap.
We,
We're in Morrowind?
delayed by bad weather. Before you even ask, yes, I have the supplies you requested. But what?
Hang on a minute. I am finding the background conversation to be very loud, so I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Hang tight. Alright, let's see if that's a little better. Well, Avo's a bit concerned right now. His backstory is that he murdered his father and fled Morrowind, so he would be very nervous to be back on what is legally Morrowind's soil. I think he would have vaguely known about Solstheim, but not maybe known too much about it. It would have been like those state capitals you learn when you're a kid that you always forget. So he'd be... Let's just say he's going to be cautious around the guards around here. The truth is that he killed his father by setting fire to his house, and nobody actually knows that the fire was not just a normal accident. So, as far as that goes, he's actually legally in the clear, but he doesn't realize that, so he's going to be very nervous. Plus, that chat with the counselor didn't really help. Also, I really don't like the dialogue options that you get in Raven Rock, because they tend to assume that you're not playing as a Dunmer, so they make you ask a lot of stupid questions that, I mean, like, he would know what his title meant, you know? He's not necessarily the best educated person, but he would know that at least, I think. Guard. Alright, yeah. What time is it? Oh man, it's pretty late. And we have a level up. What? Oh, let's go stamina. What do we want to do? Do I need any more archery bonuses? I don't really feel that I do, but... Double bash damage? That's interesting. Whoa, bullseye. This is actually... Double critical damage with archery weapons and 25% chance to disarm. Whoa. Alright, I'm using a mod called Better Vanilla Perks, so these are not the normal perks that you get with the vanilla game. Normally Bullseye is a chance to paralyze, so I didn't even look at it. I was just like, okay. What's the next one? Stahlrim and glass weapons. Huh. Avo feels very attached to his Daedric bow, so I don't think we're gonna be using Night Eye ability. That would be pretty cool. But it's not cool enough to... I mean, I'm not leveling up that much anymore, so I feel like I have to be really careful about how I spend this perk. I am wondering if I should do anything in illusion. See, like, what's cool is that it lets you get quiet casting before you get the other things, because it changes things around a bit. Wonder if I should do anything with destruction. Augmented flames. I've often felt like, I mean, I need a close range option, but I've wanted to use destruction as kind of like my melee option, or sort of like when people get more in close range. But in practice, I haven't been doing that because I have gear that makes destruction spells no cost to cast, but I don't have the perk in enchanting yet that lets me put multiple enchantments on gear, which means I have to switch out all my gear if I want to just spam destruction spells. Enchanting 76. I would still have to level grind enchanting quite a lot before I got there. Fire enchanter. Basic smithing. I kind of like that archery perk. That seems pretty awesome, actually. It seems like that might be really handy on bosses, you know? Yeah, let's do it. Alright. Well, it's 9 o'clock. And while Avo is a bit of an insomniac, even he has to get some shut-eye now and then. What's this place? Okay, we don't want to break in anywhere.
I work for Mogul. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Alright. You know, I wasn't exactly planning on telling you all about my problems. Familiarity. Home.
Your visit here will be tolerated as long as you abide by our laws. Otherwise, you'll answer to the Redoran Guard.
Got it.
Always a pleasure to watch when a man like you walks by.
Welcome to Raven.
Are you flirting with
Can I
me?
interest you in any fine ash-grown foods?
We haven't eaten in a while.
Home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips.
Wow. They have food I'm used to. Tell me about your inn.
There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend.
The name itself is pretty
2
funny.
years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sioux jammer in hand. He was one of my patrons. He liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised.
That doesn't sound too strange so far.
But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born, and singing badly at the top of his lungs.
Okay, that's pretty
As I'm
funny.
watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink," and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story.
The physics of how that all played out seem a little improbable, but it's a cute story. So what's the specialty?
Finest sujamma to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sujamma. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he would offer to help, honestly.
Yeah, I suppose they might. Oh well.
Oh, he doesn't sell food. But we'll ask him if he has
The mine's
rumors.
shut down. There's no telling how much longer Raven Rock's going to last. Hopefully, Councillor Morvain has a plan. Haven't heard anything lately. Check back with me. You never know.
Okay.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
I actually suspect that the mod that is causing the glowy thing is better vanilla perks. Because I took an alchemy perk that gives me the water breathing ability, and I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what's triggering the glowy eyes. The thing is, the glowy eyes went away on their own for a while, and then they came back. So I'm all confused.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Steal from urn. What's in these? Oh, okay. Alchemy ingredients. It's been a long trip. Loading screen after I sleep.
Here in my
That
shrine.
seems inadvisable. Oh, fascinating.
What?
You are able to resist the
What?
exerting your will.
What?
Here do we
I would
toy.
not advise touching the stone again. The effects of repeated contact could be... Unless, of course, you'd like to contribute to my investigation, which could be very enlightening.
Oh, Nella.
We might remember.
You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here?
By night, we will
I'm looking for someone named Mirak.
It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense. Nirak's been dead for thousands of years. I'm not sure, but it is fascinating, isn't it?
Dead for thousands of years. He could be
Perhaps there's some
undead
relation
then.
to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island.
That's actually somewhat helpful information.
Building something, clearly, and yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish. I
love Neloth. He's actually one of my favorite NPCs. He's a complete and utter asshole, but he's such a funny asshole. I just love him. I don't think Avo's gonna love him very much, though.
Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out.
Yeah. Yeah, that callous attitude towards things that affect other people, I think he would take some issue with.
And when the world shall listen, and when the world shall say,
Ugh. Alright. I would just like to mention that Avo spent years of his life being a thrall to his vampire father, having someone take the living crap out of him. He would find this whole experience completely freaky. So he's gonna now feel like figuring out who this Mirak guy is and stopping him to be a priority. Because he's just like... That would have felt like... That kind of mindless control would have been how he felt when he was a kid. And that he definitely does not like. Right now, let's check out the town a little bit. After all, there's new alchemy ingredients that we have to experiment with. Among other things.
Lord, you haven't seen Cresius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. No, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill pickaxe. I'm talking about an ancient Nordic pickaxe. They don't exactly grow on trees, you know. I prefer to handle these things on my own.
Okay.
Look, if you see Cresius, tell him to give me that pickaxe back, and I'll pay you for the trouble.
What do you know about Mirak?
No, wait. Maybe. I don't know how I know that name. I'm not sure. I don't want to talk about this.
So, what's so special about this
It's
pickaxe?
the only tool tough enough to crack Solstheim is what it is. Not many of those beauties left in the world. Forging them is a lost art. The one Cresius borrowed came from the Skull village up north. I, traded them some goods for it. Calling Solstheim an ore is like calling my forge a campfire. Some folks say it's enchanted ice, but I think there's more to it than that. I don't think I've come across more than a chunk or two in my lifetime, and smithing's my trade. If you're looking to learn more, you should head over to the Skull village. Someone there's bound to know more about it than I do. A fine question, and the one that I hear most often from visitors to our town. I wish I had a more romantic tale to tell, but I was simply seeking my fortune and chose Raven Rock to ply my trade. Besides, knowing how to repair bone mold armor wasn't very useful in Riften. I had a friend over there, a dark elf named Van Ryth, a very talented armorsmith. Spent a lot of time with the guy swapping smithing techniques. Learned a heck of a lot, including how to repair bone mold. After he moved on to greener pastures, I decided to pack up, move out here, and put those lessons to the test. Been here ever since. You tell Cresius he better give that pickaxe back to me, or else.
I don't want to do the dialogue option about the shadow mark until I actually see for myself where the shadow mark is. I don't actually see the shadow. Oh, there it is. Okay. And it is the shadow mark for... Oh, does he not carry... Oh, he doesn't carry the book about shadow marks anymore because he's got a grudge against the Thieves Guild. Alright.
Find my pickaxe yet? Well, well, it's been a long time since someone from the guilds bothered to make their way out here. So tell me, how's my brother Delvin? Still spending his nights at the Ragged Flagon trying to win Vex's heart? Good to hear. Damn layabout never even bothers to send his own flesh and blood a letter saying how he's doing. Can you imagine? Anyway, I suppose you're looking for work. Well, I got bad news. This place is drier than a damn bone. Eager to make some coin, eh? That's the spirit. I'll tell you what. The guild's got a problem out here that I've been trying to deal with for years, but haven't been able to handle. Don't look at me like that. I'm all alone out here, with no one to watch my back. And besides, it's really my problem anyway. I caused it. A fellow Breton who went by the name Esmond Tyne showed up on my doorstep about a fortnight ago. He noticed the shadow marks like you did, and I thought he was one of us. That he did, right out from under my nose. Can you believe it? It's my own formula for improved bone mold. Took me years to perfect. Well, before he ran off, he was talking some nonsense about trying to fence goods to the Reeklings at Castle Karstag. I told him he was crazy to even think about talking to those vicious little buggers. But he wouldn't listen. I'd bet a fat purse of coin that he's either dead or hiding out up there. You do that, and I'll make sure you're set up right. You won't be disappointed.
Well, I think he'll do that quest mainly because it seems more like a favor for Glover than a favor for the Thieves Guild. Ever since he got kicked out of the Thieves Guild, he's had kind of a resentment towards them, but this seems more really about solving a problem for Glover than them, so why not? How many ingredients do I have anyway? Oh, not that many actually.
Looking for any potions? Ingredients? Alchemical supplies? I don't think so, though it sounds like a name I've heard before. I hear that name, and I see a temple here on Solstheim. What could that mean?
Okay, she's the second person who's mentioned a temple, so let's see what she's got.
So you're an alchemist then?
Yep. We likes to mix the potions. Ashhopper jelly. Ash creep cluster. Yeah, not too many things. Let's see if we have any potions that we want to get rid of. I mean, we are carrying a ton of potions. Elixir of lasting potency. I'm sorry, that doesn't sound like a magica regeneration. That sounds like something you would take to, like, cure erectile dysfunction. Please, tell me I'm not the only person that thinks that. It's a shock. True shot. I don't know. I kind of want to keep all these so far. We've got that perk for purity of potions, so we don't make those crappy potions anymore that do one good thing and one bad thing. All of our potions are pretty good. Fortified pickpocket. Why do I probably don't need to carry around like 7 of those. Let's sell these off. I mean, I have 3 of them anyway. I probably don't need more than that. I'll keep the smithing ones, because, you know. Oh, invisibility. Definitely not selling those. Potion of light feet. I'll get rid of that. Healing potions. We're never getting rid of that. Oh, that's a really I wonder what I combined to get that. Wow. Alright. Restore Magica. Oh, we've got a lot of Restore Magica now.
Remember, I have plenty of potions and ingredients if you're ever in the market.
We actually have not eaten anything yet.
I'll give you this warning only once. Welcome to Raven Rock, traveler. Could I interest?
I think so, but I can't remember how I know him. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think so. But the only thing that comes to mind is a shrine near the Earthstone.
Yeah, we've been there. Huh, what will you give me?
If you've got something to sell, I'm willing to buy. Why don't we see what kind of deal we can make?
Ash-grown food. He would know what ash-grown food is. Baked potato? Okay. Horker stew. Huh. That reminds me, I gotta learn how to make elsewhere fondue. I don't think I would want to...
Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food for sale.
Always. Pleasure to watch when a man like you walks by.
Well, that's strange. Women never flirt with me.
Can't get blood from a stone, though. 'Cause it is barely make ends meet.
Alright. They all keep mentioning a shrine.
Let's see what I can do. Miserable. Just miserable. Oh, I hate this place.
So let's take a look around. Ash. I think he'd be pretty used to this kind of landscape. I mean, I imagine since the eruption of Red Mountain that this is pretty much how Morrowind looks like too, but probably even worse. Whoa. What the... Let's take a fortified marksman since... What the... Alright. Oh god, they're wailing on this guy. What the hell were those things? Oh, I love trying to talk to people when they're walking away.
I'd make it off this farm alive.
Yeah, neither was I, honestly.
Same for my man here. Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them Ashspawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped. I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction. Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind, and I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard. We were searching the farm when the Ashspawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful. I don't. All I know is that the Ashspawn are coming from this direction, so this is as good a place to start as anywhere else. Good thing the farm's been abandoned for a long time. I'd hate to see what they would do to an unarmed farmer and his family. Not sure. I was told it was an old Imperial farm that was wiped out by the eruption of the Red Mountain. Not certain who lived there. It was already a pile of rubble when I arrived in Raven Rock. Report back to me if you discover anything unusual.
Declaration of war. Well, they've got pretty good loot if you're into smithing, because they have ore. Kind of reminds me of the kind of loot you get off of gargoyles, actually, because they also have a lot of ore. Declaration of war. Okay. Raven Rock Stronghold. My calls for the unconditional surrender of your forces and an immediate cessation of all hostilities has been ignored numerous times. I therefore have no choice but to assume that your purpose on Solstheim is hostile and to treat Raven Rock Stronghold as an enemy of the Empire. I warn you, any attempt to breach Fort Frostmoth will be met with an equal level of aggression. I will do everything in my power to wipe you and your forces off the face of Tamriel. There will be no further communication between us. General Fox Carius, Garrison Commander Fort Frostmoth. Wow. Okay.
Have you found something? This is strange. The note says it's from General Fox Carius, but that's impossible.
Why?
Well, Carius was the Imperial Garrison Commander at Fort Frostmoth, but he died over 200 years ago when the Red Mountain leveled the place. There's no way he could still be alive. If General Carius is still alive, there must be something keeping him that way. I need you to head out to Fort Frostmoth and check it out. I'm gonna head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults.
What are these
No one
Ashspawn?
knows, really. Superstitious folks say they're the risen forms of those that died long ago, but I'm not so certain. They started attacking the bulwark a few weeks ago. My men were able to kill them, but they keep coming back. We've had 2 other assaults on the bulwark, at different spots on the wall. I know it sounds crazy, but it's almost like they're becoming more organized and probing it for weaknesses. Exactly. Something has to be directing them against us, and we need to find out who or what it is. Be careful. This General Carius sounds out of his mind.
Yeah. Doesn't sound all that stable. Question about accents. I always thought that the typical Dunmer accent sounded like a Cockney accent, but then I've heard other people say that it sounds like a Australian accent. Captain Veloth's accent, though, to me sounds like a New Zealand accent. I don't know, guys. If you know more about accents, tell me. What's his accent? Check out this farm. Alright, there doesn't seem to be much here. What direction do we have to go? For Mirax's temple. Oh, we're heading Well, okay, it's in the middle of the island. It's actually very close to Skull Village. Alright. I wish that text would go away. I wonder if I turn screen subtitles. I wonder if I turn subtitles on and off if it'll get rid of it. Oh, that's not what I want. Alright, that didn't do it. Oh, I didn't realize you could... I wonder... HUD opacity. Oh, interesting. You can turn off the HUD entirely. I didn't think you could turn down the HUD entirely, because I always had heard there were mods for that. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, and it's showing up even when I have subtitles turned off, so I wonder what depth of field does. I don't feel like it did anything, really. Oh, and that's interesting. So it must be a bug, because that's a subtitle, but it's treating it like it's part of the HUD, so... Okay. That must be what's causing the bug. Alright, let's approach this with caution. Because we know that pirates and bandits and other unsavory types tend to hang out in places like this. Wondering if fast travel would fix that. Let us do Aura Whisper. Let's get back to... I mean, this place just screams pirate. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Time for some invisibility. Reavers, hey? Watching too much Firefly, Bethesda staff.
No sign of them.
Hey, I. Let's do a retreat and not doing as much damage as I would expect. Oh, I know why. Because I've got my alchemy gear on. That would be why. And there we go.
You can't hide from me. No sign of it.
This guy. Yeah, that's more like it. And you know, I haven't quick saved in a while, so let's do some save scumming. Alright. Reaver Lord. Iron War Axe of Sparks. That's a very low-level weapon for an enemy I'm encountering at over level 50 to have. That seems very strange. Iron Arrow. Wow, these guys have shit for equipment. Is there anyone else in there? Oh, looks like the coast is clear. Whoa. Nice bodies on display. So these are Solstheim bandits. As opposed to Skyrim bandits. Hearthstone. We might need to check that out. We don't know what a Hearthstone is yet, but looks interesting. I wonder if fast traveling would get rid of that subtitle. It probably would. In my experience, it usually has gone away sooner than this, but usually I use fast travel a lot more. The poison song. Apple cabbage stew, but we don't know how long it's been there. East Empire Company Strongbox. Alright, get a cup of coffee. This might take a while. I'm wondering if people generally prefer to cover their characters' inadequacies with enchanted items or by using potions. I think that there's advantages and disadvantages to both. I mean, the nice thing about... Actually, I think we're kind of collecting stuff about the Wolf Queen since we fought her. Anticipation. So that might be interesting. The advantage to using gear is that you don't have to carry a bunch of potions around with you. But the disadvantage to using gear is that you can forget to put your proper gear back on when you go back into a battle situation. And, you know, you can also run into problems with that, because then all of a sudden you're like, why aren't I doing the amount of damage I'm used to doing? And, well, it's because you don't have your proper gear on. So, on the other hand, with potions, you know, you can just take them when you need them, and you're not expecting them to, you know, be in operation all the time, so there isn't that issue, you know. I guess you have to remember, you have to keep replenishing the potions. In general, it seems like gear is probably the better way to go, but you do have to remember to have the proper gear on. So... I don't know if there are more bodies that I feel like there are more bodies that I could have looted, maybe, somewhere, but I don't know. I am a compulsive picker of alchemy ingredients. Whoa. That, I believe, is a burnt spriggan. Hell yes, that was a nice kill cam. Very nice kill cam. Occurs to me that the kill cams you get with archery are not quite as viscerally violent as the ones you get with melee weapons, because the ones you get with melee weapons can sometimes, you know, feature decapitations and are just really kind of in close and kind of get, you know, with archery you just always get a shot of the arrow, but I kind of like seeing exactly where the arrow hits. Especially with Falmer, because a lot of times with Falmer you wind up hitting them in the butt for some reason. Hralduf's house discovered. Alright, I am almost certain there's... Yeah, ash spawn. Moonstone ore. That's nice. You can turn that into arrows. I haven't taken really any perks in smithing except the ability to smith enchanted items and elven items. Ooh. Let's see what's in here.
Lars, come here.
Listen to this one. My nights have been impossible to bear without you. I beg you, please depart that blasted isle and return to solitude at once.
No more. What a fool.
Do you think he's the one we left?
Strike out on our own. Who cares? Nods all look the same to me.
Wait. Did you hear that? Sounds like those ash spawn are back.
Still always hungry. Well, there's no
At least
prey
if the
down
other
in this
Nordwood.
Let's put some poison on our bow.
They'll take care of him.
All this hiding and skulking around.
What was that?
I knew I smelled mortal blood. Lars, come here.
Never! Not yet!
You dead think you can escape me?
The lusty Argonian maid. 2 gold diamond necklaces. Is he wearing... Well, I guess he couldn't have been wearing both of them. Hrolduf, light and strength. I feel your words are not your own, and I worry about dearly for your health. I beg of you, please depart that blasted isle, and return to solitude at once. My nights have been almost impossible to bear without you. To lose you would be the death of me. My love, if you do not return soon, I will come for you. Bjarnolfr. I don't know how to pronounce that. I feel like... Hrolduf's journal. I've arrived at Solstheim and moved into an old house on the hill by the shore. Whoever lived here before is long gone. I can see well into the waters from my vantage here, and can hear all things behind and around. Dunmer bandits wander the woods at night, but I don't fear them. There is a calling from the depths, a rumble drone that sings to me at night. I've started sleeping in the basement and keeping a knife near. The call is loudest down here. I will be ready for whatever is coming. It is as if a great machine reverberates